Outside the Circle, Season 7, Episode 5.1. Sean, it feels like it's been about a year since we've been out here. It has been a long time. What do they call it? The White Death has come upon us. Our studio was shut down for 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Well, I don't know about the first week. That was kind of like we didn't have a lot of tournaments.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I was going with this way to lump it all together. That's what I was going with. But Sean, I noticed you're wearing a shirt there.
I am wearing a shirt.
Surely mine's in the mail. I am wearing a shirt.
No, they did not give me two. Trust me, they did not give me two. But anyways, yeah, it's a Reiman Invitational shirt. It's my favorite shirt. You know what my second favorite shirt is?
No clue.
Reiman Invitational 2018. Or I could have said my other 2019 shirt. But no, Reiman Invitational, yes, those guys give us shirts every year.
Love it.
So that's what I'm sporting today, man.
I can dig it. I am sporting the Otterbein wrestling shirt as one of our wrestling family members. Joey Tromba is fighting in a struggle for his life and being diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and he's in a fight. So Joey, fight strong. And there you go.
We actually seen him wrestle, didn't we, at the Cruiser Invitational?
Cruiser Invitational. We figured out it was about 4 years ago. His dad
Tell the
reached
story.
out. I will. His dad reached out. The Cruiser Invitational was running strong at that point. We were about 6 years in, and his dad was like, "Hey, I'm looking for some tough competition for my boy, and we'd love to get in your tournament just as a single entrant." Not a problem. Let's do it. Come on down. And he was the #1 seed, and he actually was in a tussle in the finals match, and he ended up coming up a little short there. But now he wrestles for Otterbein. And want to give mad love for a few reasons. Number one,
we know him.
We know him. There's a tie in there, but Coach Rastoder does a great job. He allows us to run the Cardinal Club out of Otterbein, D3 school here in Columbus that has a team. Mm-hmm. So I ain't hating. Okay. So give him some mad love to Otterbein today. And
gotcha.
Yeah, but outside of that, we had some wrestling.
We did have some wrestling. We had some great wrestling.
Great wrestling, Sean. Well, you mentioned the Reiman Invitational, of course. We had the Watkins Memorial. Mason Boyd Memorial Tournament going on for Mason. We had New Albany go down. And then we also had team travel north to the Grizzly Invitational Tournament.
That was really good on paper.
Sean, that's a hammer tournament right there. It's a hammer tournament. Did I step too far?
Well, I mean, when some teams don't bring their full team, I mean,
well,
it does
it had
take away.
Okay, let me step back. It had the makings for a hammer tournament. I got you. And so maybe instead of a 15-pound sledgehammer tournament, it's just your basic little ball peen hammer. Does that work? Okay, good. As long as we're doing that. But Sean, we're also looking forward to the state duels to go down. But before we even get to there, that is a lot.
What about Selection Sunday?
We also had that as well. We're going to break down each sectional. I hope you're paying attention. And that's why we do 5.1.
No, they're not paying attention.
Oh, they're not paying attention.
Fast forward for like...
These guys are idiots.
Yes.
Well, Sean, let's go back to the Grizzly Invitational.
Okay.
Because as you mentioned, it had all the makings for a very tough tournament. You had Graham, top 50 in the nation. You had Wadsworth, top 30 in the nation, top 35 in the nation. There was another team there that was ranked that high. LaSalle was there. Very tough team. And we had a representative from the Central District in Olentangy Liberty. They went up there, they traveled, and they entered. Sean, they got 5th place.
Okay.
Out of 12 to 14 teams. They did a great job on the strength of one champ in Connor Brady at 160 pounds. Okay. But I'm going to mention a couple other names, and this could come into handy for the next episodes this week. 195 pounds, Brian Cox got 2nd.
I like him. I seen him on Olentangy Liberty as a coach. Like, who is this kid? He's like, Cox is 195. The only problem, he's a 195.
That's right. But hey,
like silly right now.
You're putting into another name in the mix, and we know that's been a tough weight class as of late. But Sean, another guy that did a great job all season long, it seems like. His names just keep getting out there, is Tong at 220 pounds. And you mentioned early on in the year that 220 was a weight class that had jumped in its levels and competitiveness, and Tong is adding his name to that mix. He finished 2nd up there.
You really dressed it up really well.
I do what I can.
So, Sean, you're basically saying this weight isn't awful anymore?
I think that's what you're saying. It's not a 15-pound sledgehammer. It's a ball peen. It's upgraded. Got you. Sean, that was the Olentangy Liberty to the Patriots. Great job. They ended up 5th place.
They really did have a great show. They had a couple other placers in there. Well, Giuliano placed 5th at 126. Beat a 2-time state placer from Pennsylvania to do it. So that was a great showing from him. Obviously, as most of you know, Carson Karchala did not wrestle.
Could have been a points thing.
It could have been a
or he could have lost the wrestle off to Carson Brady. I don't know. Connor Brady.
Yeah, they were wrestling off for 160. Yeah.
I just like to make that joke. Love you, Roscoe.
But anyways, he didn't wrestle, so I'm sure we got some tweets.
That's some more. There's
so
some
maybe
more.
my point was they could have been hiring fifth.
Yes.
If they wouldn't have had a couple kids out.
Right on. That's a good point, Sean.
Gotcha.
Great way to go, Patriots. Let's talk Watkins Memorial, the Mason Boyd Memorial Tournament.
Okay.
And Sean,
and
a lot of the team.
I
was not there.
Okay.
However, my son was. He was in there as a representative.
Okay.
Problem is, he's taping at like 240 DPI, and it's just not a good look. He's got to get up to 60 frames per second. But anywho, Sean, Springboro comes in. Hey, classy move from Springboro. I wanted to mention it. They have a web page. They do a great job of promoting the sport for their school.
They really do.
They do, and their school colors are blue and white, maybe add in a little black, but they turn their whole wrestling page purple in honor of Mason Boyd, who's Watkins' kid. His favorite color is purple. We had like 5 or 6 things that were all purple, and they turned their entire page purple for Mason. So I thought that was a classy touch. And then they walked in and pummeled the field, and they won the tournament by over roughly 30 points. Springboro gets first. Taze Valley.
Ooh, Taze Valley.
Taze Valley.
Don't steal my stuff. Don't steal
I
my
won't.
stuff.
I just want to tease her. That's all. Just a
Don't steal my
teaser.
stuff there.
Taze Valley finishes second with 211 points. Sheridan walks across the Buckeye Lake there.
Sheridan's a pretty good team. D2.
Sheridan's a very good D2 team.
I like
yes.
them in the D2
world.
Yes.
I got you. But I don't know if they're Central District, though. Who knows? Who knows? They
they're
finished
between here and Lancaster, so shouldn't they be?
but they're farther east. That's your new thing. Sheridan finished with 196 points. They get third. Home team walks away fourth place with 165.5. And another team would be Marysville. I think it was a split squad.
Yeah, I looked at the results there.
Yep, split squad, but they still finished fifth, so it's a great
Marysville
job.
might have been in another tournament as well, somewhere.
Really?
I don't know why I've seen somewhere that but they were somewhere else as well. So.
I don't even know what that means.
Those guys were everywhere.
Sean, there were quite a few Central District champs,
yeah?
which we love.
Okay.
Taze Valley walks away with 3 champs. They had Graham at 113 pounds. We mentioned him early in the season, I do believe. Tough kid.
He's a wild card to me.
Is he?
Yeah, he's a wild card.
Okay. What about 138 Williams? Is he a joker, a jack, a king? What is he?
He's a king.
Okay, he's a king. One-eyed king? King of hearts there? What are we looking at? Okay, I stumped you on that one. Okay, but anywho, we also had Smith at 285 pounds.
Don't tell me Smith.
Smith!
No, he's not any good. We don't have him ranked inside. You know what? I just went on a rampage today.
Oh, yeah! Here goes.
This is why I am not for rankings outside 270. I don't know who would ever do rankings and not have him in the top 8.
Well, in all fairness,
I'm just like,
yeah,
are you
kidding
me?
No, I'm not hating on that.
He's good.
He's very good. He has great movement for a 285.
Yes.
Point
that
of
doesn't
note.
surprise me at all. He won that.
No, it's not a surprise that he won the Watkins tournament. What was the last event he was in?
Liberty.
And I don't know that.
Liberty.
Okay, so
but
he's
then
been gone.
But then they got snowed
out quite a few.
They got snowed out of Porter.
I get it. I'm not hating. Sean, I think the
No,
cat
I am. I have no problem saying I'm hating. If you're going to do these rankings, know the talent level of what kids are.
Okay.
It's not that hard. Watch the show.
Deal. Sean, I do want to bring up, that was Taze Valley. They had 3 champs. I want to bring up a team that had 2 champs in River Valley. Early in the season, we said River Valley is tough. And Sean, you've been on this 6-pounder Kearney for, it seems like 3 months now.
Yes, I really do like that kid.
Love that kid. He's growing into a 6-pounder, and he's really doing well. They also had the 182 Graham. He was a 182-pound champ in Graham, so he did a great job.
Okay.
Sean, but the question is, did the home team have a champ? And I realize I just stole your thunder, but I thought you'd come at me.
No, you're stealing my stuff.
My bad. Okay. But go ahead.
Well, Mark, my question is...
Oh, go ahead.
Did the home team have a champion?
They did have a champion. 152 pounds. You heard it right here first. Rennie, I'm not sure which one it is. There's 2 of them, but this is the heavier Rennie, the senior, at 152 pounds.
Okay.
Yes.
So Colt Ford still out nursing.
Currently he's still out. Yep.
Nursing a hamstring. Okay.
Yep.
But there also was other champions like
there
Smeagol.
Was. Yes, Smeagol was there.
Big Walnut.
They had a champ.
They had a champion as well.
Hallbachen, 170 pounds. Sean, you heard it here first. 100, and he got his 100th win.
He's in the mix?
I think he's in the mix at 170,
okay.
yeah. And I would also like to point out, congratulations, 100th win. Great job.
Oh, he got his 100th win there?
He did.
Okay.
And then another name that we mentioned last year, he was a freshman, came on the scene, Eckleberry, 126 pounds for Tri-Valley. Awesome. Great dude.
I'm
Great
sure
dude.
Mama Eckleberry was in the house.
Michelle would have been there twice. She's there all the time.
Oh, she was there, left, and came
Yeah,
back?
and she's phenomenal. Great job, Michelle. We love seeing you. Sean, that's Watkins Memorial. We had another tournament. We have scattered results for. We're getting more. We're going to put them online. New Albany.
They will be online tomorrow.
That's the hope.
That's the plan.
That is the hope. And I would like to point out that we are mentioning this because we know who the top 3 teams were. Westland finishes first place. This is their second tournament victory, I do believe.
Yeah, they look good at the Kevin Cleveland.
Yes,
they
did.
Ago as well.
No, certainly. Was it Kevin Cleveland?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then we also had Westerville South finishes second, climbing the ladder, and then the host team, New Albany, finishes third.
They're a very scrappy team. I've seen them wrestle Dublin and Kaufman at the quad there at the beginning of the season. They're just a scrappy team. Keep an eye on that team.
I agree. Their junior high is doing well too. I get a pretty good look at junior high. Yeah, they were top 5, I do believe, at the Lincoln Heights junior high tournament. If you were there, but I was Sean. But there was one other event that we want to talk about. The Reiman Invitational.
The Reiman Invitational.
Wait, before you get into it, did we hand out pizzas for first place?
No, but
not this year. Okay.
We did have a lot of pizzas in the coach's room, the hospitality room. But the Reiman Invitational has become a staple for wrestling for me in Central Ohio, like the month of January. I think the Reiman Invitational has been the day before Selection Sunday for at least the last 6 or 7 years. We talk about, like, for me, the Liberty Invitational is the start of the holiday tournaments.
Yep.
North Canton, Hoover, Brecksville, Medina, so forth.
Yeah, I get it. Marion Harding, all that jazz.
Reiman Invitational represents, like, the home stretch for me.
Okay.
Like I said, it's like the end of the season. Like I said, we're doing. But I love this tournament. If you know me and Mark, outside of Inside the Circle, we are huge community people, and we're all about doing something great in the world. And the Reimans really represent that. I mean, the tournament is named after Tracy Reiman, who obviously me and Mark were unable to meet before she passed away. But she had to be a phenomenal person to raise 3 great sons. If you've ever met any of those guys, they're great. And let's be honest, she probably raised Tony too.
That's actually pretty good because you're probably right. If she's anything like my household, yep, you know.
But no, like, I mean, if you've ever been to this tournament, Tony, Kevin, Mark, Beth, Rachel, I mean, the whole family just gets behind. They had a assistant superintendent come out and speak. I mean, it's just all about the community and wrestling combined, and I love to see stuff like that happen. So,
are you an old 50s generation soul like me?
I kind of am like that. Right. One thing I like, if they say it's going to start at 9 o'clock,
what time does it start?
It will start at 9 o'clock.
I'm giving 10 minutes grace period, but yeah, go ahead.
If you say we're going to take a half-hour break, we take a half-hour break.
And that's it?
Yes. When people say 15 or 20 minutes,
yeah.
it ends up, no.
45 minutes, I get it.
So, but we had some great wrestling up there as well, Mark.
Some great reffing and some great wrestling? Excuse me.
Actually, we did have great reffing. I think that was a great reffing crew up there. Rooney, Martin, Reichert. Steve Farmer has just burst on the scene as a guy who's been destined to officiate for the last 10 years. I don't know why he waited this long, but he did a phenomenal job as well. But wrestling. We had some, do we have a local champ there, team?
The question is, did Delaware Hayes, is that what you're asking me?
I'm asking, did a local team win the team title?
Oh, yes, they did. Oh, because Delaware, the Reiman Invitational brings in teams from all over the place. Maslin Perry, Cincinnati Elder. They bring them from all over. And your question is, who won the tournament in Dublin? Kaufman wins. The Rocks, baby.
Dublin Kaufman did. I just lobbed that up.
Yeah, you did.
Dublin Kaufman did win this. And I think this is big. As most of you know, that ITC sits on the committee that helps seed the teams for the state dual meet tournament down at St. John's Arena. And we're trying to get Dublin Kaufman, out of the 7-8 seed. Some teams have got
any team from Central District out of the 7-8. We're stuck in that slot.
We're stuck in there.
I think
we're trying to get it. I think this year Dublin Kaufman beating Mason, who me and Mark think will win the second region down there in Cincinnati next to LaSalle, might be our ammo there to get them above there. So them beating Elder and beating Mason, I think, wasn't only good for them winning the tournament, but to give them some distance when we have some ammunition to fight for them in 2 weeks or a week. When is that?
Super Bowl Sunday, whenever that is.
Super Bowl Sunday to try to get them
4 o'clock.
Because basically you don't want to wrestle LaSalle or Eds in the first round.
No. That's the downfall.
That is a downfall.
Pushed into the 7-8 slot. You have to wrestle the number 1 and number 2 seed, and it's just like, dude,
It's
we're
not
better than that. That's right.
It's not
That's
competitive.
right.
I think once you get past there, if they draw Wadsworth, Illyria, whoever they decide to go there,
A little more competitive.
it's just more competitive. And I think that's good for wrestling to
Agreed.
have competitive matches there. So they did have a couple of champions. They're the only school there that had 2 champions. Wallach wins at 182, and Seth Shoemate wins at 195. And I think that was the match that most of the people locally wanted to see.
Certainly.
You had an undefeated returning state player from Pulliam, and then you had this upstart freshman that people were talking about in Shoemate, and it really didn't disappoint in any regard. A lot of action. I think the scoring was a little skewed in the way they did it, but I think the score was right, if you know what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
there's an 8-point throw, and people's like, what's an 8-point throw? Exactly. There's a big throw at the beginning. You had hands in the face, the guy's on his back, so we give him 4 points near fall, plus the points that made it an 8-point throw, and I think that kind of dictated the match. But, so I didn't think there should have been 8 points. I think maybe it should have been 6, but I thought maybe
2 for the takedown, 3 for the back, 1 for the penalty.
One for the pin?
No, I'm just keeping this straight in my mind.
Yeah, but
that,
they gave
that
you
sounds
10 points penalty.
Yeah, I got you.
But I thought Shoemate had a couple of times where he had takedowns on the
On the
edge
edge.
that might have been called. So I'm saying, like, it all bounced out the score, but I
Gotcha.
think I would have scored it differently on the card. So
Gotcha.
I'm excited to watch that match going forward. So,
Okay.
But there was another local champion.
Ooh, not Cincinnati, not Sunbury.
Delaware Hayes, and he was from the home school, so we love it when a home school wins it, especially a tournament like this where they put so much passion into it. Juicebox William,
Boom! 138.
138 pounds, wins it, so good to see him back. He missed the top
yeah.
gun with the little bit of a flu bug there, so it was a great all the way around. We talked about the home school also getting 6 as a team.
Yes,
Okay,
most
so-
certainly. And behind Dublin Kaufman, obviously, and
Right.
then the other 2, Elder and Mason. And
So thank you, Reiman, for inviting ITC down. At least the good part of it was able to come down there. I mean, the only part people cared about. So we're good to go.
That's great, Sean. That was the weekend wrestling. We had the Reiman Invitational, Watkins Memorial, New Albany, the Grizzly Invite up where Olentangy Liberty was. That's the tricky part. But Sean, moving forward, we're getting into the state duels, and I remember a couple years ago you just weren't a fan, and then last year you're kind of like, it's not bad, it's still good wrestling. And I think overall, more than anything, I'm a fan of the regionals. Like after the regionals done, I'm like, whatever.
I think it's getting better. I think
That's
the
good.
system is getting better. The first year it was spread over 3 weeks in the regionals.
Yes,
now it's
that's true.
Now it's down to 1, which I think is more manageable.
Right.
But before we get to that, the Licking Heights tournament this week is
True.
also being rescheduled from 2 weeks ago, where it was going to be wrestled. A lot of the local teams, not a lot, there are some local teams that are not competing in the state duels that have got into it. Mark said there's some other outside schools
Yes.
as well. So that tournament's up to 10 teams.
Roughly right now? Yep.
Roughly 10 teams. That'll be wrestled on Saturday at Licking Heights High School in a bracket format.
I don't think that's been decided yet based on the number of... If they get above 12 or 14, I think they do go bracket. But if they stay at 12, I think they might do pool. So they're not 100% sure yet. But I do know this. It's going to be nice to have a tournament there. How long has that tournament really been around?
Oh, a long time. I wrestled in it.
I swear, it's got to be up to 40 years. So I want to see that keep going. And they got snowed out last year and they weren't able to reschedule.
Oh, really?
And this year they took a stand. No, we need to reschedule. It was cool to see the head coach go to battle. Yep. So yeah, there you go.
So if you can't make it to one of the regional sites and you're on that side of town, go watch some wrestling at Licking Heights.
Heard
But
that.
there are state duels going on, 2 locations. Region 5, which is at Marysville.
Yes.
And Regional 6, which is at Hilliard Darby.
Yes.
Also the side of Darby.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I mean, just
So
saying.
let's start in Region 5 here. I think Region
You want me
5...
to, wait, time out. Do you want me to draw a bracket up here?
Why not?
I love drawing brackets. If you know anything about me, I'm a bracket drawer.
You are a bracket
Hey, can I just go
drawer.
semifinals, though? Can I
Sure.
just go okay.
Sure.
And if we have a dual meet that's going to be pretty tough, I'll just put both teams in
Okay.
if we're uncertain.
So we're going Region 5 here to start it.
Okay.
In the top quarter here, I think this is going to go pretty much according to seeds. I'm going to have Dublin Kaufman, who is the number 1 seed, advancing here to the
Okay.
semis. And then the second part of that, I'm going to have Delaware Hayes, who is the 4 seed. I think they'll upend Olentangy. Olentangy is still getting through some of the injuries they've had earlier. I don't think they're going to have their full team back yet.
So your point is Olentangy will be a tougher team come sectionals in districts than they are right now.
I think that's definitely going to
Okay,
happen.
cool.
Then in the bottom down there, we're going to have UA as the 3 advance out here.
Okay.
And then the home team, the Monarchs of Marysville.
Gotcha.
advance-
That just happened last week, man.
Hopping to the bottom there.
Gotcha.
Let's go on the top here. This is
Let's
more
do it.
interesting to me. I've said this from the beginning of time. The Dublin Coffin, I think, is by far the best dual meet team in the area, regardless of division. So we will have them advancing out here.
Okay.
And this match that Mark talked about, they just wrestled, 5 days ago, maybe 4 days ago, and Marysville beat them 47-19. 47-19. But I think this match is going to be wrestled totally differently. I think it's going to be closer than the experts think, and I'm picking an upset. I told a couple of people about this, and they thought I was joking. Like, I honestly think that Marysville kind of moved their lineup around a little bit, and I think UA got a chance to look at that lineup. I think they're going to make adjustments, and I'm really calling UA to come off of this 30-point beatdown to Monarchs and flip the script here 10 days later.
Boom! Are you saying you're going to wear a Monarch shirt if they...
I'm saying, I don't know if I'm going to go that far, but that was a
Classic.
That was a little funnier in the pre-taping.
Yes, it was.
But in the finals here again, I'm not getting off of Dublin Coffin. I've been high on these guys, and I think from a matchup standpoint, I think Dublin Coffin matches up extremely well with both UA and Marysville if Marysville was happen to upset Upper Arlington.
Gotcha. Okay. I see. I did see where you're going with that.
That's how I think Region 5 will unfold. Now take those teams away, Mark. Let's take a look at what I got for Region 6 because Region 6 is absolutely crazy. If Region 5 was about as plain as butter,
vanilla. Yeah, go ahead, talk to me.
Region 6 is going to be like Rocky Road.
Ooh, Rocky Road.
And the only thing about this region I do not like, I swear to God, honest to God truth, I have told anyone who has listened in the last 2 weeks that I have an absolute sleeper team in Region 6 that nobody is talking about that I think is going to upend this region.
I'm listening. You have my attention.
Team is? It's Hilliard Darby.
Woo!
And the crazy thing is, they were seeded number 1. They stole my thunder.
They straight stole it, Sean. I thought I was the only one who could do that.
I guess all the coaches I was telling this to must have been the coaches voting out of Region 6.
Boom,
but
that's right.
I do like Hilliard Darby here. Coach Moody does a great job of getting his kids to progress. And the last couple of times I've seen them, they've just started wrestling as a team to me. I think that big win they had over Delaware Hayes, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks ago at this point. Really was like the catalyst that kind of brought these guys together and really got them going there. So I'm going to have them advancing here to the top semifinal. And then the bottom of that, we have a Watkins Memorial Tri-Valley rematch of another match that was wrestled, how long ago was that wrestled, Mark?
Geez, maybe 2 weeks ago, the 17th, I think.
And that was a barn burner that came down to anything. Tri-Valley won that match. But what are we going to do? We're going to take Watkins here. We're going to flip that.
You're calling it.
We're going to take Watkins. Watkins starting to wrestle well. Another team that's starting to pick up steam well. And I really think they could possibly take it all. But I'm not going to get that far yet.
Okay, go ahead.
So the bottom here, this is another one. We're got Lancaster against Taze Valley.
That's over here. Gotcha. Wait.
It's going to wait here. It's got a 2 seed against a 7 seed. And everybody knows Lancaster is extremely talented from 6 to 26. 32 is a former district qualifier.
Yes.
You got Titus Johnson there, who is a returning district qualifier. But after that, they really get thin. I think Taze Valley, as the 7 seed, is going to upend them with overall depth.
Dude, so this is madness.
We're taking 7s. Can we put seeds up here?
Yeah, let's go. 7.
7, 4, 1.
Gotcha.
Then at the bottom here, we got 2 teams. We got Bradley. We just haven't seen Bradley enough. I don't know what they have as a dual meet team. I think we have some results from them as a tournament team, and they're pretty good. Ellison and
Saltchuck, yeah.
There. But overall, we get to see them. But I think they'll clear this against Tecumseh and some of the other
teams
well
Springfield.
To get up to the semifinals.
Gotcha.
We're going to stay down here in the bottom. This is the craziness. Is this whiteboard prediction already?
Well, we're just giving a taste, baby. Just giving that taste.
I like Taze Valley here to advance again. I don't know if we've ever had a 7 seed in this format advance to the finals. I really don't think we have it. Central Ohio, but I think they have a better than people think dual meet team here, and I think they're going to have the ability with Williams and some of those other kids to play the matchup game. I think Todd's going to have the ability with who he's got those guys to start playing the matchup games and move the guys around they want. So I'm having Taze Valley as the first ever 7 seed to make it to a regional final in Columbus.
Wow. What about up here?
That's been very vanilla, this district.
Gotcha.
Up here, this is another one. I think me and Mark might see this a little differently.
Okay.
He's really high. I'm not saying he's out from old man's Ben right here, out from that way or there. But he's really got me on this fact that Watkins, I believe, is wrestling well. But Darby was my sleeper pick, and there's no way I'm going to ban him at this point.
Okay, then. Okay.
I mean, there's a reason why I do most of the talking when we get to this point.
I didn't want to say it.
So am I going to have the audacity to take a 7th seed to win this thing?
The word is audacity, but
do you know what the lowest seeded team to ever win a region is?
4. 3.
Do you really know?
No, I have no clue. I thought you were asking me something.
I'm just really
Probably
don't know.
2. That might be as low as it gets.
Really?
I can't imagine a 1 seed getting upset across the board. Like
maybe a 2 seed, but never
4,
like a 5 or
3,
something
3,
like that.
Yep. 6.
Who you got here, Mark?
If you're going to get Hilliard Darby, I'll take Hilliard Darby against Taze Valley.
So they're going to defend their home mat here.
Yes! Oh,
Have you ever been to the Darby district tournament?
I'm hoping to go this year.
Around that mat, you know what fan is short for? Fanatic. And these people in Hilliard are fanatic. They are going to have this place rocking. I think if they get to this point, this is a winnable match for him. And I think that crowd and everything going is going to be the edge for them. And we're going to take the Panthers to win the region tournament, Region 6, and what we think is going to be a barn burner region to watch.
Well, it's just so there's a lot of parity, and here's the biggest thing, and we've said this before. Dual meets offer something different than a tournament. So when it's in a dual meet style, and we've said this many a times, that kid's up 7-0, and he gets a takedown late, or
1 point here, 1 point
yes,
yes.
And all of a ssudden that stuff starts adding up.
Yes.
And now it's just kind of like, oh my gosh. And then we've seen this. I'm up, 10-4, and I get pinned. That's a huge flip in the game.
Or get the takedown to make it a major.
Yes. But I mean, I was just talking about that reversal. Like, I'm up 10 points right now, boy. I got this. And then I get pinned. That ain't good. That's such a flip on the score. So, with all that said, Sean,
this is how we think the regionals are going to unfold. Wrestling at both sites starts at 9 o'clock. They're going to both regions are going to have 4 mats out, so they're going to wrestle the first 4. And then they'll wrestle the next 3, I think, because there's a bye in the first round. Maybe 2 at Marysville.
Right on.
And then after 10 minutes or 15 minutes.
I think it's 15 minutes.
15 minutes after each round, they're going to continue the next round until we get down to 1 champion. So get out to one of those. I will be at Marysville. Mark will be attending the Hilliard Darby region. So that's what we got.
Is that it?
That's what we got so far. Stick around. We're going to do sectional breakdowns in the next episode. And now
you are inside the circle.